Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Top of the show to you. Thanks for tuning in to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, if you have a great looking hot rod like this, you want to protect it, you want to make it look great as well. But the same thing goes for your everyday vehicle. If you've got a truck, any kind of car, you want to protect it, you want to make it look great. But as the winter months come, protection becomes more and more important. And Michael Cantrell from NEXGEN, how does protection start? Where does it start with your everyday driver?
So, you know, protection doesn't actually start with the vehicle. It starts with the driver themselves. The driver's ability to be able to see where they're going, see the surroundings, and see anything that may be affecting their ability to drive. And that starts with a windshield that is clean and free of things like fog or dirt. So we've come up with a new product that we've been working on for literally the past year that allows a driver to simply spray an application on, and it eliminates that fog that they're going to see in those winter months or when the air conditioning's on really strong in the summer months, so that they can have that clear vision, that clear windshield. And that's where our anti-fog product comes into play. You start with getting that layer of ice off the outside of the window, then you decide, how long am I going to have to wait while I let my car heat up to get everything off the inside of the window? Well, now we can eliminate that step. We can actually put an anti-fog agent on the inside of the window so that you can get on the road faster, so that you have to worry less about doing things like driving down the road, reaching over and grabbing that rag and trying to clean the window out of it.
Just like my dad in the Volkswagen.
Exactly,
yeah.
That's how my dad did it when I was growing up as well. So now you can eliminate all of those issues, which really creates a safer driving environment for whoever's in the vehicle. And that's really where protection starts, is making sure that you have that clean windshield.
Now let's talk about then what you normally would here at NEXGEN, protecting the paint, protecting the car's finish.
So obviously protecting the glass is number one, especially as we're in these winter months. But once you move beyond that, then you have to think about things like road salt, grime, ice buildup, and debris. All of those things are going to wreak havoc on your paint and your clear coat. And that's where you want to default back into our flagship product, which is the NEXGEN ceramic spray. Because once you have a layer of that on, it's not going to keep your car from getting dirty, but it's going to make that dirt fall off a lot easier, it's going to make cleanup a lot easier, and it's going to eliminate things from embedding into your clear coat, which is what ultimately degrades your car, devalues your car, and makes the paint look horrible.
How does the NEXGEN system work to clean the vehicle to get it to the point where you can clear coat it?
What we've done over the years is slowly released our full line of products. So now you can clean a vehicle from the front to the back, inside and outside, whether you're talking about our interior cleaners, our wheel and engine, whether it's a bug and tar remover. Everything you need you can find on our website at getnexgen.com, starting with our ceramic soap or our high foam wash, which is where you want to start. That cleans your vehicle. Then you can move into any of the specialty cleaners, the conditioners, so that you can prep your vehicle and make it ready for that ceramic coating. And then ultimately you want to get a layer of that ceramic on there so that your vehicle's clear coat is protected from any element at any time of the year.
There are a ton of companies that make products to make cars look great. How do I know NEXGEN's not one of those fly-by-night deals that won't be here tomorrow?
We're a big enough company that people recognize us now. We're a known brand. We've been in the industry for several years, but what people don't know is 10 years before we started NEXGEN as the brand, we started developing the products to use for ourselves with our 750 employees embedded in car dealerships all across the country. The products have literally been tested on thousands, I would say actually hundreds of thousands of vehicles. Our ceramic coating has probably been on north of 5 million cars before it was ever bottled and had a NEXGEN name on it. So the products have been vetted and tested thoroughly. We're not going anywhere.
And how important is quality to you for the customer's sake and for your own, because you use it in your own business?
So for me, I would rather not release a product if it's substandard. That's why sometimes it takes us a little longer to actually push a product to market. We started working on the anti-fog over a year ago, but we wanted to make sure that we could perfect it so that it worked in the application that we were going after before we brought it to market, because there's nothing worse than pushing a product out to people, having them get excited about it, and then it doesn't work. And our anti-fog product Simply put, it works. It not only works on a windshield, it'll work on your glasses. It'll work on the mirror in your bathroom when you're running that shower at like scalding hot temperatures and everything wants to fog up. It'll work on your ski goggles. It'll work on your scuba mask. It'll work on your visor. If you're riding in a RZR or you're on a motorcycle or you're on a three-wheeler, it will help you in any one of those scenarios, not only to clean the windshield or whatever the surfaces you're doing, but to apply those silicones, which are really functional silicones matched with surfactants. That's what the key is to get us to that ability to eliminate the fog, because fog is really just tiny little droplets of water. So what we're doing is we're creating a surface that is essentially so slick that those droplets won't stick to them anymore.
Well, protection starts with the driver, and that starts with the anti-fog spray from NEXGEN. You can find it at getnexgen.com, along with their entire line to keep your car looking great and protected. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coating, so do not go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Induction Innovations, induction heating for vehicle and equipment repair. And by Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Thanks for tuning in to Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, I know you've seen automotive wraps, but you haven't seen wraps quite like this. Now, this one's coming from Full Throttle Wraps. This is out of Newark, Delaware. And Dennis, how does Full Throttle out of Delaware go above and beyond?
Well, really, Dave, we put our heart and soul into every wrap that we do. We use the best materials that are available on the market, and we have super attention to detail on every project. We use name brands like 3M, Avery, Orful, just to name a few. Our installers are certified by 3M and Avery, Geek Wraps. I mean, we really made sure that we built a team that's putting the best material and the best product on every vehicle that we do.
We're clearly looking at something that's on the wild side, but you guys do at Full Throttle everything from mild to wild. What's more typical of what someone might come to you for?
Sure, so we do offer a wide range of products. Something as simple as PPF, paint protection film. A lot of people are starting to put that on their vehicles now. It's a clear bra.
Yes,
yeah. Clear protective film. Typically something like that is a front end clip just to protect from rock chips and stuff like that. We also do ceramic coating and paint protection, which kind of falls in that same line to help protect your vehicle, ease of maintenance. But we also do full color changes. Full color changes, typically what people think about when they think about wrapping. Let's say the only car out on the market was a yellow BMW that you really wanted that model, but they just didn't have the color you want. So now you want it black, or you want it green or purple. We can really get you anything that you want. Typically also with that, we'll do like commercial lettering and wraps for, let's say you have a fleet of 20 trucks, you know, and you just want to get your name out there. And that's kind of on the mild side. Now, what we have here is definitely on the wild side.
Without a doubt.
So for this project, we worked with a guy named Glarb, who in our industry is one of the best designers. We're really good at what we do with designs. He is fantastic with it. So we have this super high detailed design that we worked with him on for the zombie apocalypse. Now, everything doesn't have to be this crazy. You know, when you talk about wild, we can do something like color shift changing colors. We can do textured where we emboss a little bit. If you wanted a Motorhead garage car with Dave Dobson's face on it, we could do that.
And I do, so we need to talk afterward.
Yes.
So what's the process like then when I bring in my vehicle for you to wrap and put my face on the hood?
We try to keep it as simple as possible. Basically, when you come in, you'd bring your vehicle to us, we take all the measurements that we need, any pictures, we would discuss what you're looking for, and from there, we might even be able to do a sketch or two while you're sitting there with us. But typically, we'll sit down and we have in-house designers, and we'll work on a design on a mock-up, put it together in a nice presentation, and send it to you so that you would see what your vehicle would look like before we even start anything. Once we get everything tweaked and it looks great, then we bring you in, and it takes typically about 2 to 5 days depending on the level of wrap that we're doing.
What if I'm not in Delaware there?
We also ship out. We could work together and create the design, show you the mock-up, the same process, and then we have a network of certified installers that we trust that we can then reach out to in your local area, send them the vinyl, and then you could link up with them and have it installed at your own home.
The general public, I think, still thinks in terms of paint. How is a wrap better than a paint job?
If you're looking for a very nice paint job, you're going to spend upwards of $5,000 to $10,000, easy. When it comes to wrapping, you can still get that look that you want without breaking the bank. You know, typically an average wrap on a car like this is probably about $3,200 to $3,500. And you can even get into some crazy stuff with like color shift materials, and you're still not spending a ton of money versus a paint. Another benefit is, let's say you have a fleet of vehicles and you buy all white vans, but your company colors are blue and red and pink. Now we can wrap that vehicle, and then 3 years later when you go to trade it in, it's not painted and you don't see your vehicle running down the road with the colors. We peel it off and it's just back to normal. A plain white van, easier to sell, easier to trade in, and it also protects the vehicle underneath. Now, it's not gonna stop a rock from coming through, but it will help protect those little ones that pop up on the road.
And if you do get some damage to one of the quarter panels, you just pull that part of the wrap off and you can put it back on and
Yes.
repair it that way.
And that's also a benefit too. You know, you don't want to have to paint and have to blend it in and try to get that exact color. We have everything on file. If we wanted to reprint this corner panel, we could literally just bring up that corner panel on our system and reprint.
When we started out, I mentioned that you guys are going above and beyond at Full Throttle, and that includes augmented reality. How are you using that with some of your wrap designs?
Yes, so we are one of the very few companies in the world that is implementing augmented reality into our wraps and graphics. This one in particular has a really cool feature where you scan the QR code on the hood and a zombie will rip the car hood open and reach out at you and roar. That's something that's kind of fun and personalized for this particular vehicle, but we're implementing it also into commercial vehicles. With the lettering and the wraps and stuff like that, you want to engage in your client and really get them to feel the brand. So as soon as you can interact with them, that's something as simple as a game, you know, a pest control company that has bugs crawling over it and you pop the bugs and get points. You're engaging with your client and they're going to be remembering you the next time that they want to actually get some pest control done.
Full Throttle wraps can do everything from mild to wild, like you said. They can also do all your marketing materials and signage as well. And you can only get my face on the hood, they can do that too. Check them out at fullthrottlewraps.com. And you can check out more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings when we come back.
Dragonfire Tools, quality affordable storage. Proud sponsor of our DragonfireTools.com studio.
Talk about high-end vehicles. This is a Ram TRX, otherwise known as a T-Rex. These are going for $130,000 at auction. Joe, this one is yours. What are you doing to protect your investment?
Well, first of all, any vehicle that's worth owning is worth protecting. And NHOU is the least expensive, quickest way to add safety and value to the vehicle. Now, this particular vehicle is going to probably live its life in the Northeast, which is going to mean inclement weather, salt brine, and a lot of different environmental things that are going to be attacking this. So for us to protect this, we're going to go with our Boss Wax. Boss Wax is a one-time standalone application, goes on the undercarriage, we put oil in the body cavities. We actually will document this on Carfax, as well as we'll keep a registry in-house before and after photos. So if you sell the vehicle later on, you can tell them you were proactive and you have the vehicle's history. It's going to be a little bit different than your average application because there's some unique things on here that I want to leave exposed.
Yeah, what things do you want to still see and not coat with NH oils?
For instance, the Bilstein shocks. Probably there's some aluminum alloy that I looked under there that doesn't necessarily need to get the application and that I like the look of naturally the way it is, so we'll leave those. We'll customize any vehicle that comes in here. We'll customize the service. So you come in, we'll have the vehicle up and we'll go over it together and that service will be customized for you.
We should stress that NH oil is great for a new vehicle, a high-end vehicle like this. What about my daily driver? Maybe something that already has some existing rust.
So we have products for all stages of life of the vehicle. If you have pre-existing rust, then we have an oil. And the oil basically is the most forgiving way to treat a vehicle that has pre-existing rust. As long as you have product on the surface, you stop oxidation. We stop oxidation by removing moisture and oxygen. Take either of those out of the equation and oxidation cannot occur.
The best way to prevent oxidation and to keep your vehicle on the road for years and years is to go to NH Oil. You can go to NHOilUndercoating.com and learn more. DragonfireTools.com has 3 different 9-foot 4.5-inch workbenches. This one is a monster, Lou. Tell me about it.
This one right here is our 30-drawer Midnight Pro Series workbench, and you're right, David, it is a monster at 1,416 pounds of steel.
My goodness. Why does it weigh so much?
Well, we're using very high quality materials in this. So this 14 gauge 304 stainless steel top, for instance, or 16 gauge galvanized steel drawer bodies. our 14 gauge powder coated drawer fronts, and our 14 gauge 304 stainless steel handles.
And you mentioned the drawers and their ruggedness. How much can they actually withstand?
So our single rail drawers are rated for 200 pounds and our double rail drawers are rated for 400 pounds. So the heaviest tooling and tools that you can put in it, it's going to be able to handle the weight.
I have a toolbox at home where the drawer comes out about 7/8 of the way, and it's kind of a pain because I lose some stuff back in there. You've thought of that too, and you've taken care of that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a big frustration for me too, is, you know, the drawer comes out 3/4 of the way and you can't get the stuff in the back. So the way I designed this is these drawers pull out 100%. So whether you're standing at the front of the drawer or you're standing at the side of the drawer, you're going to be able to get those tools out of the back.
I mentioned you have 3 iterations of the 9-foot 4.5-inch workbenches. What are some of the other ones you offer?
So we have the 20 drawer workbench, and then we also have the 18 drawer workbench and 9-foot 4 1/4.
And then there's other lengths as well.
Yeah, we have 3 7-foot models. We have the 24 drawer, the 17 drawer, and the 12 drawer.
If I'm looking to expand from more than just the workbench, what other options do you have for me?
We also have some open door cabinets that go above the workbenches, such as the ones behind you. We have a new corner cabinet that is an upper and lower that are 2 separate pieces that if you need to go into an L-shaped space in your shop, you can have workbenches come off of either side or wall cabinets that come off of either side.
You've got a whole lot of choices. If you go to dragonfiretools.com, you're going to come away with a workbench that is going to last you a lifetime. Go to dragonfiretools.com. Special for our viewers, a discount plus free shipping. All you have to do is enter the code MOTORHEAD. Do not touch that dial. Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, continues right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NEXGEN, the most powerful detailing products ever made. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. Auto Geek, we are car care. And by Dragonfire Tools, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
You know, I talk to a lot of viewers. They hit me up on Facebook and they tell me how much they love the Magic Creeper for off-roading. Those folks are out on the trail all the time. It makes it super easy to get your tow vehicle ready. If you're walking around maybe setting air pressures on your vehicle, or you want to check under the hood on your tow vehicle, you can use the Magic Creeper as a fender cover to protect your paint job and also keep your clothes clean. Of course, all the other maintenance on the UTV, same thing before you get going. But when you get to the site, when you're getting ready to do some off-roading, you're always going to want to lower your tire pressures. That means better traction for you, of course. That also means kneeling at every corner while you're taking the air out of your tires or putting the air back in afterwards. And believe me, after 10 minutes of kneeling beside the tire and letting the air out, you're going to wish that you had some padding. The Magic Creeper plays a perfect part in helping your knees. Once you get on the trail, you can run into all kinds of issues. You might get hung up. You might get a lot of debris or branches stuck underneath the vehicle. That's when the Magic Creeper does exactly what its name says. You can use it as a creeper to get under your UTV to remove those branches and twigs and that sort of thing, or check underneath to see if there's any damage. The Magic Creeper can roll like no other creeper. There are no wheels to get hung up, so you don't have casters getting stuck on gravel or on roots or on grass or in mud. And as a bonus, the Magic Creeper gets dirty. You do not. So who wants to be in soaking wet, muddy clothes all day long when you're on the trail? Let the Magic Creeper take the beating. Your clothes don't have to. It's going to keep you a lot more comfortable all day long. The Magic Creeper weighs practically nothing. You can put it in your vehicle. I think it only weighs 3 pounds. It also takes up very little space. So bringing it with you, you won't even notice you have it, but you'll be glad you do when you need it. You can find the authentic Magic Creeper at magiccreeper.com, except no substitutes because they're out there. Joe, we have seen here at New Hampshire Oil how you start with a new vehicle and protect it from rust when it's right out of the wrapper. And we've also seen how you take an older vehicle that may have some rust on it already and how you eliminate that rust, and also how you prevent it from being rusted in the future. But what if you have some scaling and a little more rust on the vehicle? How do you get more aggressive with it?
All right, for the customer who says, hey, I wish I had started this from day one. I didn't. We've gone several years now. I'm ready to begin an oil-based rust-proofing maintenance program, but I want to be aggressive. So what we'll do is take the vehicle in. First, you want to inspect it, have your mechanic inspect it. If it's structurally sound, then bring it in, We'll descale the rust. We'll bring it down to a surface rust, okay? We'll hit it with 2 coats of our rust converter, which will neutralize it, turn it black, and then we will spray it with oil. You come back every year after that, as you would our regular oil maintenance program, and it is a way to kind of kill most of the rust before you begin the oil-based rust-proofing maintenance plan. It is our most aggressive approach.
How much R&D has gone into this product?
Boy, we've been doing it for 10 years, and we do close to 3,000 vehicles a year. Out of those 3,000, I would say at least 20% of them are restoration. So we've had our hands in this for quite a while, and we've really refined the product. We also developed our own rust converter, so it's made to work in conjunction with our oil.
How important is it for you to listen to feedback from your customers when they come back?
That is as critical as listening to the viscometer in my lab. This is the real-life lab for us right here. Real-world laboratory testing. We have actually many customers that come in here. We ask them to allow us to monitor their vehicles, and we try different things out. So it's been very useful for us.
Well, the restoration is proof that an ounce of prevention is worth about 4,000 pounds of cure.
Or $55,000.
There you go. Motorhead Garage is brought to you by NHOU Protective Coatings, and we bring it to you every single week. Until next week, you can find us at Facebook and on Instagram. And if you have a product you want to see featured on our show, email jeff@masterstv.com. We'll get you here in our studio. From our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, we will see you next week. In the meantime, drive safely.